Hello and welcome to Christians in Politics. May I wish you compliment of the season. It is the season of Christmas, the season of love, the season of family unity and bonding. I welcome you to a special edition of Christians in Politics. And today we're going to be talking politics alongside the spirit of the season, which is the Christmas season, as you all know. So I have one of our fathers in the house who has been on the show before. He's still a friend, he's a father, he's a support team for Christians in Politics. He's no other than Dr. Toyin Ayinde. He's a past president, National Institute of Town Planning. He is currently the second Deputy President, Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria, and also a former Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development for Lagos State. You're welcome on the show, sir.
It's a beautiful day. Compliments of the season. Let me just quickly say that
Yes,
Town Planner Toyin Ayinde, or just Toyin Ayinde for short. It would not be right to call me doctor now because I'm still doing my research.
Exactly.
So,
Doctor, at this level, you're already a doctor because what is going to stop you? Nothing is going to stop you. So
it has to be officially awarded.
it is officially awarded as far as Christians in Politics is concerned. It is already it's a done, and then we're calling it to be. After all, the Bible gave us the power to call things to come, so nothing is stopping it. So congratulations ahead of the success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So it's the spirit of it's the season of Christmas. Let's just even hear from you. What does Christmas season mean to you? What does Christmas generally, from your own point of view, how would you describe? What does this season bring to mind for you? Or what are the things you look up for?
Two key words.
Yes, sir.
Peace and joy.
Peace and joy.
Yeah, peace in the sense that you will recall when the angels brought the news to the shepherds. They said, peace on earth. And if there is peace, it causes one's heart to rejoice.
Yes, sir.
So there is joy because the peace that came is because the Prince of Peace himself has been born. And the joy for us is that the work he came to do as Prince of Peace is to bring a reconciliation between man and God.
Yes, sir.
That is, he's restoring us to our reset. He's resetting us to our original position, meaning that we have access to God. We can identify with God, and that in itself should generate joy in us.
Using a language I know you're familiar with is restoring us back to the master plan.
Yes.
For those of you in planning,
what God had planned originally.
Yes, sir.
So we're getting back to it.
Yes,
so
sir.
So we're in a reset mode.
Honestly, we are. And then this year has been a wonderful year as we look at it politically, even in our individual life. It has been a very unique year. What would you say has been the highlights? Because this is the season also that people sit down to take account of from January up until this time. What are the successes I've gained? What are the maybe not so good mistakes I've made? What are the things I can learn to prepare for the next year? How would you describe the political year so far?
I think the first thing to realize is that life is a journey.
Yes, sir.
So we are walking through a journey as individuals, as families, even as a nation.
Yes, sir.
So politically, we're also on a journey. One of the things I try to do before I go out in the morning, I try to look at what the comments are in newspapers and things like that, what experts are saying. And I must say that most of the experts I've listened to talking about economy, talking about the development of the nation generally, are not using negative words. So the words they are using are words that give us hope. Like one said this morning, that we may not be where we want to be,
Yeah.
but definitely we have left where we used to be. That means there's progress. It might not be the way we want it, but if we keep at it, if we stay focused, it means things will get better and we will eventually get to where we want to be. I think what we should be looking at now is how to speed up our actions, how to collaborate more, how to innovate more, and things will be better. So generally speaking, I would say that there has been an improvement. For me as an individual, I experienced improvement because for us this year was called the year of possibilities. That means impossibilities becoming possibilities. And I've seen quite a few things that God has done for me as an individual, and I know that He's been the one doing whatever we're experiencing as a nation.
Yes, sir. So, speaking about Christmas, what would be the best way you would want to spend your Christmas, putting all things where you want them to be? How would you describe your best spent? What would be your favorite way if you have the opportunity to do it again and again? How would you say you want to spend your Christmas?
Well, if I have my way, it's just fellowship with family, fellowship with friends, because it's also a time of relaxing. As an office, for example, we will have closed down for the year.
Yeah.
So it's time to regain strength for the new year. As you are regaining strength, physical strength, you're also looking for spiritual strength. It's a time of gratitude, to thank God for all you have received this year. And in gratitude, you open avenue for more things to come in. So you can even begin to thank Him for next year. And as you thank Him, He begins to drop hints of what is going to happen. One of the things I do about this time is to listen to hints from men of God. You know, you begin to hear from people's messages. I can pick from here, I can pick from there, and begin to look at them based on what the scripture says, and to dimension what my life should focus on in the coming year. So that's what I believe the Christmas is about. And then when you begin to look at the value propositions of the birth of Christ, you know what the angel told Mary was just that you'll give birth to a son. He'll be called Jesus because he will save his people from their sin. But we now have value propositions. We have other things. We're not just saved from sin.
Yes, sir.
We're delivered from sickness. We're not just delivered from sickness. We are blessed people. We're not just blessed people. We have access to God. We can now call God Father. You know, and it means quite a lot to me, because it shows there's a difference between a slave and a son.
Yes, sir.
You know, in the house, a slave is curtailed.
Yes, sir.
He is not free. He can't move like a child, a son or a daughter would move. So one of the value propositions is that we are no longer slaves. You know, we're not slaves to fear. We're not slaves to sin. We are children of God, and we can say, Abba, Father. And we know that anytime we come, He's always willing to accept us. That's part of what brings joy in Christmas.
Yeah, how lovely you've put it there. And my heart now goes to some of the persons in this year who have had to spend the Christmas, live through this season, actually grieving, not because of their making or because of nature, because some unpleasant people, permit me to use that word, have ripped them of the loved ones. And while I sympathize with them, on the other hand, I'm also looking at the year, looking at what is currently going on, taking the example or the advice given by Daddy Gio, that the government can be proactive instead of allowing a foreign government to invade to force peace, permit me to use that word. And it seems like the government tend to heed a bit of that advice, and things seems to be, there's been relatively some kind of cool in the disturbance, which will now speak to the part where we now have to live with less fear as the tension was rising. How would you describe the response of the government? Because I am now asking myself, if they had the power to do this, why haven't they done it? Why did they allow these miscreants to perpetrate such evil before they rise up, maybe upon the threat of foreign powers that they now had to wake up to call politically, and then the government had to make one or two adjustments that seems to be keeping the peace? What would you say? Is it like a negligent, or what was wrong? Why didn't they see it and maybe do something earlier?
Okay, let me start by saying that government is a complex business.
Yes, sir.
And in trying to do so many things at the same time, because there are a lot of demands, you can miss out something.
Yes, sir.
That's one thing about government. And I tell people that things are not exactly the way they look. There are information that are not available to us as public, and it will be unfair to make comments when we lack those information. There are some information available to those in government that will prevent them from even taking some decisions, because their decisions may backfire or have negative results. So there are a lot of things to put in place. Now, this is a tough for security experts to discuss, but let me say that since we had the news, because I'm sure you are referring to President Trump's
yes, sir,
comment and the effect it has in Nigeria. Now, since that news came, we know that government has taken a few decisions. So what we should do, what I will do, is to encourage government to follow up those decisions. The truth is that the scale or the ratio of policemen, security men to our population is very low. And in spite of the fact that it's low, we still have quite a number of them guiding a few people. And we saw the president make an order that policemen should be withdrawn from VIPs. Now, I had senators arguing this in the National Assembly, whether they were included in that VIP or not. You see, apart from the senators, there are a lot of other Nigerians. There are pastors who carry policemen around. So, is it possible for us all to make our policemen focus on the generality of the people rather than on us as individuals?
And that will bring me to the question I wanted to ask, because when you talked about information that are not available to us as politics, because some of this information can make it difficult for a leader in governance to be able to make certain decisions, maybe because it can backfire. Now, are we saying that it is okay for you to protect your interests, because that's what it looks to the man outside who is not in governance, that they are protecting themselves? And this, what you're saying now about having to focus more of some of our security, some of our best of best benefits on a few, will speak to, because if we go that way, don't you think it will mean we're still saying that let me protect my political ambition or party or whatever career or sentiment against the people, because in not making that decision has led to some other people still feeling the other side impact?
Okay, if I understand you.
Yes, sir.
If I understand you. My understanding of what you're saying is as if government is focusing on itself.
Sometimes I'm asking.
Okay. What is happening right now is the conventional way we think.
Okay.
People who are not VIPs have policemen guarding them. There are company heads that take policemen around. I don't know if you have noticed it. I've seen goods, vehicles that move goods that have policemen protecting them. So we need to evolve a police system that is hierarchical. I tried to look at, from my experience in US.
Yes, sir.
Not living there, but just going on holidays. I tried to study how each place looks like. And then I've tried to do some research. The security is multi-level. Their schools have their own police system. A primary school has its own police system. A secondary school has its own police system. So within their premises, they have security. So you can't do anything anyhow within there. But the moment they go out, the county police is there. And then the state police is there. The federal police is there. And all of these things need a discussion, because many times we do a knee-jerk reaction to things.
Okay.
So we don't properly think them through. For example, do you know why a lot of people have been against state police?
I was going to ask
because they say that some state governors will use it as a weapon against opponents and things like that. But when we sit down, once we agree to set up structures like that, we must also think them through to ensure that I cannot, because I'm governor, use the police against someone because the person doesn't belong to my party. I mean, we've seen governors demolish the houses of opponents because they didn't belong. That's misuse of power.
But then that is even without the state policing.
That's without the state policing. Yes, so we must
go ahead, sir.
We must come to a level,
yes, sir,
where before we institute that structure, we must study it, get the guidelines, the laid down rules, so that the person who is initiating it does not have a right to misuse it.
Good. That will bring me, at some point, even in our country here, we have a governor who would say, during election season, particularly on election day, came out to the news. I was lamenting that even his own security has been withdrawn as a sitting governor because of power that be. It's been that abuse. I think it's something like you said, maybe we need to really sit down. But then the question is, what is stopping this sitting down from looking at, okay, you're arguing that this is, there's likely to be an abuse. Why can't they now sit down, especially the National Assembly, sit down, what are the complaints, what are the suspicions? So what can we put, what measures should we include in the policy statement to guide this? What is making it difficult?
So for things like that to happen, I think citizens themselves must begin to generate conversations. We must begin to create our own seminars, our own workshops on security. We must be able to invite the house member within our area and let him have our views. And if all of this is happening all over Nigeria, then they are getting information on what to deliberate on before we can arrive at the various structures of security.
Again, that will pose another challenge, because some of these people, it is only during campaign that you see them in the wards, in the state, in their constituency. After that, they've gone to Abuja. We will see them.
So we vote them out. Part of the problem we have is the people.
But then again, there's been counter rumors that, like they say, quote unquote, now, not me saying quote unquote, rumors have it that people will say votes don't count, this, that, and all of that, rigging and what else again? That even sometimes, even our security operatives have been the one that have assisted in maybe stopping election in a world that seemingly seem to be voting towards the opposition party. How do you now say, how do we restore confidence in the people?
Now, people must be able to protect their own turf. People must be able to collaborate and set up a resistance against wrongdoing. I tell you, if a whole community is standing against a wrongdoing, an armed personnel has very little to do. He might be armed, but when it is an overwhelming resistance, there's nothing he can do. The truth is that a lot of us really don't care. We don't care in the sense that we seem protective. I've done my own, let me go and sit down. We leave a few other people to face the bullets. We believe that some people are so designed, you know. So and many times we just give up. But if we're determined, this thing is about our future.
Yes, sir.
If we know that we have a Nigeria that must continue, we really must stand up and call our representatives, call them to question, give them ideas. There are times that we just criticize them without knowing what they even have, you know. Yeah. So why don't we give them information? Why don't we give them ideas and see what they can do with it? In all of these things, when you say people go to Abuja, we still know those of them that go to their constituencies.
Yeah, they are.
So there are those who go to their constituencies and buy them Okada. In that situation, they can call him and tell him that it's not Okada we need, though. This is what we need. It's security. But the truth is that when he brings the Okada, many people think that that's my own share of the national cake.
They even begin to fight for it again.
So when somebody brings 5 kilograms of rice, we think, oh, that's my share of the national cake. So, but when we see value in ourselves, and we're able to value our lives more than the things that are being brought, we would rather give them ideas and want them to go and push those ideas into implementation rather than give us.
All right. Thank you very much for that perspective. Still in the mood of Christmas, may I even ask, looking at your time in office and looking at what you know about governance generally, what would you say is the best gift a government can give to our citizens for Christmas?
Service. The government, the best gift government can give its people is good service, is protection, is security, and good news. For example, incidentally, Christmas is about the last celebration of a year, and we are going into a new year. Government, represented by the governor now, should be able to address the people of the state, giving hope for the next year, giving direction for the next year. It cheers them up, carrying the people along, telling them that our government, in the next year, our government is willing to serve you more, to deliver dividends of democracy more. It will cheer the people to hear that.
I think maybe you will have to use your good office to begin to relate this message to our governments, our governors especially, because the only people that tend to speak to the people, the populace, at the end of the year
are the pastors.
So I don't know how you want to encourage them to really do. Maybe you just say a word to them. Maybe that would help them, because truly that place of communication between government, government and the governed is not always the case.
Well, you know, these are leadership issues.
Yes, sir.
And I know governors may not hear this, but those who are close to them may hear this. Even as president of my institute,
yes, sir,
I spoke to my members at the end of the year. You know, I gave them hope,
yes, sir,
and promise of a better service. I was in office as president for 2 years, and at least I did that 2 times. For each year, I let them know that we're looking forward into a better year. We're hoping that things will be better. Just trying to encourage all of us, because we actually need encouragement.
Definitely.
Even me speaking, I need encouragement. So the governor himself too needs encouragement. That seat can be overwhelming. So the governor himself needs encouragement. But in all of this, he will come as a leader of the state to let people know that, you know what, things might be difficult, but we will wade through. Together, we will do this. Together, we will move this state. Together, this Nigeria will be better. You know, that's what I expect the government to do, giving hope to the people.
Honestly, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for this time and for the words what you said. So maybe let me give you this opportunity to wish someone a Christmas. I don't know who are top on your mind. You want to send a Christmas shout out to via this program, sir?
Well, shout out to all Christians, all children of God, and Nigerians. I wish them a Merry Christmas. I pray that Christmas finds a new meaning to all of us, better than it had been. You know, there are various reasons people celebrate Christmas.
Sir,
There are those who do it for commercial purposes because they are going to make money in this thing. But I pray that it has a better meaning to us, improving our relationship with God and relationship with man, making us serve better so that we can have a progressive nation.
It's all right. Thank you very much, sir. So before I let you go, we're already heading for another year. What would you say? What should be the hope for someone who maybe, as at this point, is still bleak as to what next year holds? What would you be your advice for such a one?
I would tell any Nigerian that we should keep on keeping on. We should keep on keeping. It's going to be good. We are on a journey. We're on a journey, and the journey is far. It's a marathon. Let's not sprint and get tired and faint. Let's just keep going slow, steady. We will win the race. Obviously, we will win the race. We will tell a new story in this nation by the grace of God.
Hallelujah. Thank you so very much for coming on the show. That's been the much we'll be able to take today. And we've been speaking, again, permit me to say, to Dr. Toyin Ayinde. He said he's still in the process of becoming a doctor, but as far as we're concerned, we already know he's a doctor. And then he's the past president, National Institute of Town Planning. He is currently the second deputy president, Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria, and also a former commissioner for physical planning and urban development for Lagos State. It's been wonderful having you in the studio again.
Thank you. It's been a privilege.
Merry Christmas to you and to the family at large.
Same to
Thank you for always honoring our invitation and for sharing your experience.
We
look forward to doing more and better with you again in the near future, and especially in the new year. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, that's all we can take for today. Thank you. I remain yours, William Stiloho, signing you off until I see you again.